morning, class. As you know, I am an internationally known timepiece, and as such, I receive fan mail from all over the world. And by fan mail from all over the world, I mean very specific questions from confused and agitated doctors in the United States about ICD-10. Nevertheless, I like to think that I am appreciated for the timely manner in which I respond. Well. Shall we answer some fan mail this morning?
Professor, the printout is in your briefcase.
Ah, wonderful, lad. I shall take you out for a pint, as the kids say. Blasted contraption. Yes, here we have it. Dr. Brown from Sioux Falls writes, "Is it possible to have a diabetic cataract caused by type 2 diabetes? How do we code for that?" Excellent questions. The ICD-10-CM classification makes a linkage between diabetes mellitus and cataracts. Therefore, it is appropriate to assign code E11.36, type 2 diabetes mellitus with diabetic cataract, when diabetes and cataracts are both documented in the medical record. It used to be that only DM1 was associated with cataracts, but that has now officially changed, and a causal relationship between DM2 and cataracts has been recognized. This does bring up another interesting point, that of the use of the word with in your coding. According to the ICD-10 guidelines, the word with should be interpreted to mean associated with or due to, when it appears in a code title, the alphabetic index, or an instructional note in the tabular list. The classification presumes a causal relationship between the two conditions linked by these terms. These conditions should be coded as related even in the absence of provided documentation explicitly linking them, unless the documentation clearly states the conditions are unrelated. For conditions not specifically linked by these relational terms in the classification, provided documentation must link the conditions in order to code them as related. Prior to this updated instruction at Roman numeral 1A15 in the official ICD-10 coding guidelines, doctors had to document the connection between diabetes and its manifestations, and a coder could not make the connection for them. Best practice, even with the new guidelines, it is to stay with the old way. The doctor should always make the clinical correlation in his or her documentation.
Looks like you do have some fans, Professor.
These links will take you to the ICD-10-CM guidelines, the 2017 crosswalk of codes to HCC and RxHCC categories, and to the most current listing of ICD-10-CM codes on the CMS site. Please feel free to muck about in them for clarification and further edification.